Good morning and welcome to Sports Shorts Daily on a Monday morning. I'm Tommy Chrysan. Glad to be here. Glad to have you there. I'm live and in color from Court Street Cafe here in Port Allen. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, 7 days a week. You know the drill about the good folks here at Court Street Cafe in Port Allen. Ronnie Rance real busy with the Rougarou Summer Youth Baseball Camp. He'll be popping in here in a minute or two or three. Very busy guy. Rougarou wins their 12th in a row last night. But I guess the story is, right, LSU, national championship number 8 in baseball, 53rd team national championship in the LSU athletic department with Jay Johnson, his staff, these players. They are the national champions for the 8th time in school history, 2 times in 3 years, having won it in 2023. Skip Bertman in the house in Omaha. Coach Johnson said after, when I saw that Skip arrived, I knew we were in good shape. So it was great to see Coach Bertman up there. He got interviewed during the game. That was good. And LSU, hey, they did what it takes. They sweep the Chanticleers, Coastal Carolina. Got to give Coastal Carolina a lot, but the credit goes to LSU with championship number 8. I just mentioned the 53rd team national championship at the LSU athletic department. But 8 for baseball. And Ronnie, I mean, I don't know what we can say right now that wasn't said yesterday evening or last night or even this morning, but I know you're proud. You've got 2 College World Series rings at LSU, and you've been so close to the program and Coach Bertman forever. I know it makes you proud. It just says, just Ronnie Rance. I know you're very proud.
Absolutely. 8 national championships, but also the thing that's impressive, it's much like LSU football, in that Tigers have won national championships in football in the last 25 years under 3 different coaches. And that gives you an idea of how strong the program is for football. Well, the same can be said with baseball. 3 different coaches have won national championships, and now Jay Johnson's won 2 in the last 3 years. And in the new landscape of college baseball, where they're basically professional baseball players, the Tigers are not the Yankees or the Dodgers. They don't have the biggest payroll. That goes to teams like Texas and Texas A&M, or those teams have more payroll and more resources on and off the field. But the Tigers are, right that next tier down, right? I mean, they're the Astros, they're the Rangers, big market team with a lot of money, but not maybe the biggest. But they have the tradition, they have the name, the colors, the program that people want to be. And they have a coach in Jay Johnson who cares about one thing in life besides his wife, and that's baseball and winning. And so the fun question today, Tommy, is how many national championships will Jay Johnson win before he retires? He's a young guy. He can coach probably for 20 years if he wants at LSU. How many titles will he win when all's said and done? Who knows? But it's a fun conversation to have. The interesting thing, Tommy, is LSU still doesn't know who its 3rd starter is. They don't really have, beyond the top 4 or 5 guys, they don't have a lot of confidence maybe in some of those other pitchers, but it doesn't matter. If Ianson, Anderson, Shores pitch like that, it only takes 3 guys to win 2 games. We didn't even see Kason Evans, Cooper Williams. We didn't see the Wofford transfer who was so good. Like, we talk about 18 arms and all these big leaguers on their roster. Tommy, 3 guys. It took 3 pitchers to win 2 games and win the national championship. And that's the format that exists. Super regionals, Omaha. If guys live up to their expectation and pitch to their abilities, you don't have to have 18. You just got to have 3, 4, 5. That's it.
Well, it couldn't have went any better with Jay Johnson scripted to have Anderson throw the complete game shutout, okay? Albeit 130 pitches, it didn't go to the bullpen. So in your mind, whether you're Jay Johnson, you're Nate Yeskie, you're on this LSU team or support staff, hey, we had it set up, and now we're double set up because Anderson got you to win with the complete game. So it just lined up. And then, Jay Johnson said when Skip Bertman arrived in Omaha Sunday, he had this premonition. He said, that means we're going to win it. And they surely did. I mean, a team effort. And, going back to your question, how many will Jay Johnson win? Nothing's going to surprise me because, as he said, they only had 12 guys on the roster that played the game last year. So through the portal, through the freshman signees, everything that we all know about, they found a way to become a solid team that was together and tough, as their saying goes. And, they got it done. They went 10-1 in the postseason. We always talk about you got to get hot at the right time. Okay, get swept by Auburn, get 10-run ruled by Northwestern State. But if you play at the right time, you can win a title. 10-1 in the postseason. That's going to win a lot of postseasons.
You go back to the Arkansas game last week on Wednesday, where you were losing in the bottom of the ninth, and you end up winning that game. I mean, Tommy, just think how different the world would be if you lose that game and you have to burn Anderson the next day or Ianson. I don't know, would they have brought back Anderson? He threw Saturday. Would he have pitched Thursday? Or would you have gone Ianson because he threw Monday, but he threw 40-something pitches, and then you bring him back Thursday? I don't know. Either way, it's a different series against Coastal Carolina. Your pitching's worn down. You play another game. I mean, the way it worked out with the amazing comeback because of the collapse by Arkansas, it set up LSU. And it set up, Carolina was doomed. Coastal Carolina was doomed once Arkansas collapsed in the bottom of the ninth, because then LSU was rested and had their pitching set up perfectly. And as good a pitching as Coastal Carolina has, and Fluky and Morrison are really good. I mean, these are guys that are great college pitchers that all have major league potential. But the fact that LSU was set up, their major leaguers, Coastal Carolina's major leaguers. And at the end of the day, that's really what happened. It wasn't the coach getting ejected, which was ridiculous by the umpire. It was LSU had three major leaguers, Shores, Ianson, and Anderson, that pitched. And they were not like maybe going to be major leaguers, like they're going to be major leaguers, like all of them. And lock of the week major leaguers. And their major leaguers, their high 5-star recruits were better than Coastal Carolina's. No disrespect to Coastal Carolina's. That's all that happened.
I think you hit the nail on the head there. I mean, that's what it was. It was just better than Coastal Carolina. Now, tip of the hat to Coastal Carolina, the Sun Belt Conference. Okay, yeah, good stuff. Okay, take it and build going forward. But LSU, they're built differently, like Kyle Peterson said. And Ronnie, we talked about it when they had the first game against Arkansas, first game in Omaha. Jay Johnson said, well, we probably got to play them at some point. Might as well play them first. And we said, if they win that game, that's a big, big thing. Here's another interesting stat was pointed out. Game 8 in Omaha. The winner of Game 8 in Omaha has won 5 of the last 6 national championships. Game 8 this year was LSU beating UCLA, because then that really put them in the driver's seat.
It's the marble game.
Not into that losers bracket and digging into your bullpen. So it just kind of all the cards fell in place, in Omaha for LSU. A little bit of luck, a little bit of fortune, no question. But that's part of baseball, it's just it's the game we love. And we were lucky enough to play it a lot longer than some people, but it's just baseball. And LSU's to be very proud. Big celebration Wednesday night at 7:00 at the box. They've announced that, a big celebration. They're going to get back to the box at 3:00 today. They're flying in, and their buses are expected to have the team at Alec Box at 3. I'm sure there'll be a ton of people out there. But Wednesday night at 7 at the box is the team celebration. I got the email from Bill this morning.
Tommy, tell us about your take on the umpire getting tossed in the first inning. What did you see, and what was your thoughts?
I mean, HWA, right? I mean, hey, Mr. Ump, you got to understand where you're at and what's going on here. And he should have been – I think the ump should have been more adamant about, Coach, go back in the dugout right now, or I'm going to have to throw you out of here, and I don't want to do that. That's what I would have said if I was doing. Then if he doesn't go back, it's fine. I know the thing about it. He said you missed 3 pitches, and he came out the dugout after being warm. I mean, I get all of that. But, this wasn't a game on March the 8th. Okay, this is Omaha. They're in the championship finals, and sooner or later, coach crosses the line, he got to go. But I don't think that coach intended to get thrown out, as some people said. I totally disagree with that. I just think he was mad because there were 3 missed pitches, and he knows he got 9 in his baseball, and he got to make sure this ump knows he's paying attention in the dugout. And he missed at least 3 pitches when the coach said that. So nobody bought a ticket. Nobody turned on the TV to watch the umpire. None. 0. Maybe the umpire's family did. But, you can't inject yourself into the story the way this ump did. Now, the letter of the law, was he right? Yeah, but you got to handle that better, knowing, again, it's not a March 8th game on a Tuesday night between whomever and whoever. I was upset that it happened, but, if you go to the letter of the law, the ump did what he was supposed to do. He just, I don't know. It was unfortunate that happened. And, this is the same ump a couple of years ago threw the Clemson kid out the game. With a lot of controversy, the kid shouldn't have been thrown out. So, I don't know. Somebody said, well, the NCAA's got to do better. Well, everybody's got to do better. All of us, you, me, everybody got to do better in life and sports and business and everything else. But I hated to see it because I didn't want it to be the story. The story is LSU was the better baseball team. Their 8th national championships in the books. And I guarantee you they're preseason #1 next year.
It was just kind of a ridiculous thing, I thought. 28 pitches into the first inning bottom of the first to toss the Carolina coach. I mean, that's crazy in my opinion. By the way, he was upset. If you remember the play, Coastal Carolina stole second base, and Ianson threw a breaking ball that they called a strike. It was an 0-0 count. He threw an 0-0 breaking ball. They called it a strike on the inside corner, and the runner was clearly safe by a ton at second base. If you were to see the pitch, if you go back and look at the pitch, Tommy, it was the most ridiculous, egregious breaking ball. I mean, it was way inside. I mean, it was a stupid call. I mean, and when you watched it live, you knew, okay, that's a breaking ball inside. That's a ball. And instead, they called it a strike, and that's what, and so he yelled from the dugout, which, by the way, if you've ever been to Charles Schwab, the dugout is.
It's a lot further from the field than, say, Alec Box and many other stadiums. Go ahead. You blinked out for a minute. Go ahead.
You were talking about the dugout is so far from home plate at Schwab that you can't, and with 25,000 people, you can't hear. I mean, I'm surprised the umpire was able to even hear the coach yelling at him, right? Other than to know he's yelling. And so the guy, it was ridiculous. I mean, all he did was yell. He warned him, and he said, "You've missed 3. What are you warning me for? You've missed 3 so far." And he tossed them. You got to give that guy more rope than that. It was an egregious strike, by the way. Go back and look at the strike. I mean, as an LSU fan, I'm glad LSU won, but it's ridiculous that the umpire tossed 2 guys on a horrific call. And umpires, and it's not just in college; it's at all levels. Umpires have an ego problem, a lot of them, and they want to be in charge. And to toss the coach in that situation is sad. It wouldn't have made it. It ended up making a difference in the game. LSU's pitchers, like I mentioned earlier, they're major leaguers. They pitched like major leaguers. And Coastal Carolina, doesn't matter if he coaches or not, was going to lose that game. But to do that, and it was just ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, we shouldn't be talking about that today. We should be talking about, Daniel Dickinson playing with the broken Morris bone since regional. That was revealed after the game. Braswell's defense finally got himself a hit late in the game yesterday. And, we should be talking about all of that stuff and the way this team, played some great baseball. And then, look, the fans, 20,000 LSU fans in Omaha, so much purple and gold. You had a little bit of teal every now and then in the stadium for Coastal, but the LSU fans, I mean, it's almost like that's Alec Box Stadium North, right? We've heard that term over the years, and don't I know the players and coaches and the sports staff certainly appreciate the fans, and they're all peacocking today, and that's cool. You deserve it.
I'm looking forward. I mean, the 2 years ago, the celebration at the box was incredible. I mean, the players came through the fence in center field. There were fireworks. There were pyro. I mean, it was unbelievable. I won't be there for it because we'll have a Baton Rouge Rougarou game Tuesday, Wednesday night. The Rougarou in action. Oh, by the way, the 12 game in a row win streak. Rougarou 15-2 in the Louisiana division. Tommy.
Hey, undefeated at Pete Goolsby Field. I got it up on the screen. Tuesday night, Wednesday night, gates open at 6, concession stand specials. And I mean, this is a very good brand of baseball. Speaking of pitching, you don't have an Anderson and an Ianson and a Shores, but you got some guys that can throw the ball. The Rougarou, best pitching I've seen, 4th year, obviously, involved with the Rougarou with you now. And overall, some really good pitching. And, some good baseball players. The coaching staff's done a good job. And appreciate those fans been coming out to Pete Gold. We got 15 games in July. So you got plenty of time to get out there, but you got tomorrow night and Wednesday night at Pete Goolsby Field. Acadiana Cane Cutters coming across the basin, so it'll be fun.
A chance for the Rougarou to clinch, Tommy, if the division, if we win one of the next 2 games against the Acadiana Cane Cutters, the Rougarou will clinch the Louisiana division, which is impressive. With 24 games in the first half, 24 games in the second half, Rougarou can clinch tomorrow night, and then literally have 5 games this week that they're playing, that you're playing for something. You're playing for best overall record, because at the end of the day, when you get to the finals on August the 2nd, if you win your playoff series, days leading up, team with the best overall record hosts the championship. So obviously, it's not like we want to coast. But once you win the division, you're in the playoffs. You're hosting the playoff game and have home field advantage. And then it comes down to can we have the best overall record and host the championship at Pete Goolsby Field? That's way in the future. But right now, hopefully they go get win number 13 tomorrow night, Tuesday night at Pete Goolsby. Get your tickets at brrougarou.com. We appreciate Denham Springs High School for letting us. I'm here in the Denham Springs High School baseball stadium in their press box. We've got our Rougarou baseball camp going on today and tomorrow. We just got it kicked off, underway. 69 players with half our team today, half our team tomorrow working the camp. We got a beautiful turf field, multiple cages, locker rooms. I mean, probably a $16 million facility for baseball over here at Denham Springs High. That's very, very nice. So we appreciate them for letting us be here.
Ronnie, tell everybody you got a big weekend in Natchitoches this weekend. Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame, LASportsHall.com. Talked about it on the Rougarou broadcast last night. Got some tickets left for some of the events. There are some public events. Going to be a huge, fun time in Natchitoches this coming weekend.
Yeah, LASportsHall.com to get your tickets. Some events for tickets cost them free, so go to LASportsHall.com. The other thing is that if you can't make it up to Natchitoches this Thursday through Saturday, you can watch live 7 o'clock Saturday night on LPB, Louisiana Public Broadcasting on LPB statewide. You can watch live the induction ceremony. Joe Sherman, Nick Saban, Andrew Whitworth, on and on and on. Danny Broussard, you name it, April Burkholder, Danny Granger, all these folks getting inducted into Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame this Saturday night, 7 o'clock live on LPB. So if you can't make it there, watch it. It'll be an awesome, awesome induction. I'll turn it over to you, Tommy, and we'll be back on the air on Wednesday.
All right, sounds good. That's Ronnie Rance from the Baton Rouge Rougarou Youth Baseball Camp. Again, they're home Tuesday and Wednesday night. Hey, don't forget, if you haven't come to Court Street Cafe yet, where I'm at, 805 Court Street in Port Allen, just a couple of minutes over the Mississippi River Bridge. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, Monday through Saturday. Saturday night, steak night, full-service bar. Connect with Court Street Cafe on Facebook and Instagram. They do a great job of getting you the lunch specials, the dinner special of the week, the daiquiri machines, the drink specials. Court Street Cafe, Port Allen. Jason and the staff do a super job. Let's see, we got one more comment. There you go. All right, so don't forget about all that. Don't forget about the Rougarou being home Tuesday and Wednesday night. As always, we're presented by the LeBears Casino and Hotel in Baton Rouge. We'll be there this Saturday morning for radio. We'll tell you more about that later in the week. Hey, like and share this show, whether you're watching on YouTube, Facebook, or X. Like and share this show. That helps us a lot. Helps Court Street Cafe, Tremonti's, Sports Hall of Fame, Rougarou. You get it. It helps everybody involved. Appreciate it very much. LSU National Championship number 8 is in the books. When will number 9 come? Time will tell. On behalf of Jason and the staff here at Court Street Cafe in Port Allen, on behalf of Ronnie Rance, I'm Tommy Chrysan. Have a great day, everyone.